I'm going to show you how to create something like this for the visual biography, and I'm going to break it into approximately 3 steps. So here's step 1. I'm going to close out of this file, and I've already saved it, so I'm going to not save it right now. So the first thing that you need to do is find your image that you're starting with. So that's the one that you took in class. If you have not taken one in class, you need to get one of yourself, side profile with a white background. So I'm just going to drag it off my desktop and drag it into Photoshop into the gray area. So this is my starting point here. So I'm going to first make a selection, and I want to select me. So I'm going over here to the quick selection tool, and when I click on that, a couple options pop up here. One is select subject. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to click on that, and then it takes just a second to load. And let's see how that does. So it selected it for me, and it did a pretty good job. There's a couple little places that I don't really like. This bump is a little bit weird. I might leave it in there, but it like kind of like pokes out right here. So I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go back to my quick selection tool and click on the minus here. And then I'm just going to go in with a really small brush. It's at 27 now. I might even make that a little bit smaller, like 20. And I'm going to use my magnifying glass tool to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about here. I want to really smooth that out. Go back to my quick selection. I'm on the minus, and I'm just going to subtract this area right in there. And then now that's nice and smooth. And then I can go up and I can check, and looks like everything's good. Oh, right in here, I want to subtract this area. Okay, so now it cuts in there a little bit better. So I like that. So now what I need to do, I'm going to zoom back out using the magnifying tool. And right now it's on the plus magnifying. So I'm going to click on option, and it makes it zoom out with a minus magnifying glass. Okay, so I have that selection there. So I've selected me. I want to go and save my selection because I'm going to need it a lot. And I don't want to have to do that every time. So I'm going to do select, and then I'm going to save my selection. And I'm going to name this one Jennifer Outline. And maybe name it number 1, just in case I make more later, like if I find an error. Okay, I'm going to click on OK. So I've saved my selection. Now I'm going to go over to my background layer, right click on it, and duplicate the layer. So there we go, click OK, and now I have 2. I'm going to make the bottom one, it's just there in case you need it, in case you really mess up. So I'm just going to click on the eyeball right there so that it is now invisible, although you can't tell because I have another picture on top. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is click on the masking tool. Sorry, I'm going to add a mask layer. And when I do that, it automatically uses my selection, and it automatically masks that all off. So that's awesome. Now I'm going to go up to File and click on Save. So this time you're not saving it as a PNG, which is like a flattened file, a flattened picture with no layers on it. I want to have my layers showing. So I'm going to name this Jennifer period 1 visual autobiography. Notice how I spell that, autobiography. I'm going to put it in my visual autobiography folder that I've already created on my desktop. And it is a Photoshop file format. So that means it's going to save my selection that I saved earlier. It's going to save my layers. And this is the one that I'm going to need to drag over again tomorrow when I'm going to be working on it. I need to work on that Photoshop file. So that's step 1.